To me, a story is a story is a story. A good story can encompass any different number of elements. Yes, scandal, sex, drugs, that sells much better. But you do have plenty of coverage devoted to various celebrities going all over Africa, opening up schools, helping with refugee efforts. And I think, that should make the cover of a magazine. Is it going to sell well? Probably not, but I think we should, I think it's important in the gossip cycle to recognize those efforts. I don't think Americans necessarily care as much whether, Paris Hilton is going to, fund a battered women's shelter as she is, going to get plastered and flash her crotch. So I'll let the consumer decide on that one. Yes, and for all the wrong reasons. I think, celebrities, ranging from, Brad and Angelina to all the way down to sort of, low-level celebs who probably don't get the attention they deserve for those efforts, do bring awareness and attention. I think, you do have a lot of young people, women, young girls especially, who are absorbing this information and who, for the life of them, probably could not find an African country on the map. All of a sudden, they know where Malawi is, and Zimbabwe and Mozambique, and they can put these countries on a map and actually have some cultural awareness. Do I think, Angelina Jolie's cause should be the, first example of their worldliness? Probably not. But is that better than nothing? Absolutely. It really all comes down to connections. You have to know the right people. You have to have the right network of sources. Gossip reporting works as any other reporting niche does, whether you're in finance, education, politics, foreign policy. It's all going to come down to who you know and who's feeding you hopefully accurate information. From there, the writer has to be able to tell a story. When it comes to blogging, we're dealing with more transparent, more personality-driven content, whereas, say in a tabloid magazine, it's going to be more about painting the overall picture. But, with a gossip writer, they need to be able to identify, what I think is the most important thing to a story, which is that personality behind it. At the top of the game is Britney Spears. She is the #1 medium for all Britney Spears related information. She's well known to phone the paparazzi ahead of time to let her know where she's going to be heading out to. She's not alone. Many celebrities and socialites do this also with the hope of being photographed and appearing in a magazine. And it trickles down to the paparazzi who are trailing her 24/7. Aren't just selling photos, but they're selling the stories and information. That information gets picked up by tabloid magazines who, will quote an anonymous friend, who's often a paparazzo, as relaying the story. And, then it gets put through the machine of, say, a tabloid magazine or a blog. And then from the other avenue, you could have publicists feeding information as well. But I think when it comes to blogging in particular, what's really phenomenal is that anybody is a source. It doesn't have to be the celebrity, the photographer. It can be somebody who saw, a certain B-lister out at a restaurant, and suddenly they're getting in touch with you, and they're the source of the information. And I think the perfect examples of that are, the Michael Richards video, when he was on stage screaming racial epithets. That wouldn't have been a story were it not for some random person with a camera phone. And that's really sort of an example of how anybody can provide a story, how gossip is becoming much more democratic. Let's say the well-educated American consumer of gossip understands at long last the machine of celebrity, that there are so many things going on behind the scenes that they aren't privy to for very obvious reasons. And when you have a tabloid magazine that's owned by a large publishing company who just happens to run a movie studio, who just happens to have a movie coming out this weekend, well, guess what? They're going to bury or not even report a negative item about that star because they have corporate interest in protecting their profits, which I absolutely get. our readers come to us knowing at the end of the day, it's me. I'm the only guy who's really responsible or has any answering to do when it comes to, you know, the finances or the business end of things. And we don't have those relationships that we're protecting. Our policy is if it's a good story, we're going to report it. It doesn't matter if there are favors or relationships in play. If we get a hold of that information, we're going to go with it.